Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence.
And then it gives me an experience about this man. He was disfellowshipped for 10 years. And it says, during which time his father, mother, and 4 brothers quit mixing in company. At times he tried to involve himself in their activities, but to their credit, each member of the family was steadfast in not having any contact with him. However, because he did not receive even the slightest communication from any of his family, the burning desire to be with them became one motivating factor in his restoring his relationship with Jehovah. That experience is only to help me be firm in dealing with my disfellowshipped family member. This is the loving thing to do. This has nothing to do with information control. They're not trying to keep me from what that person might know about the organization. There's no way. They have that person's repentance at heart, as well as my faithfulness to God.
Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence.
I hear Jehovah's Witnesses all the time saying, oh, what do you mean? You can leave anytime you want to. Yeah, but not without consequences, not without losing your entire family or all of the people that you have once known. Like, dude, if you are unable to speak to people who have left your organization, not even say hello to them, you are in a
Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence.
Involvement. It's all or nothing. So when people leave the church, especially if they're openly critical, they're often marked.
And being marked means that no one from the church can speak with you anymore. You're a sinner, you're going to hell, you're evil. Nobody can call me. They're not allowed to. If they call me, then they're inviting Satan in.
Is it taught that people who leave the Boston Church of Christ will go to hell?
Well, it's taught that if people leave the Bible and what Jesus teaches, that they certainly are in great risk of losing their relationship with Him.
Cult expert and exit counselor Steve Hassan is also a marked man in the Boston Church of Christ. According to a recent article in the Movements magazine, at least twice a week, families of church members hire exit counselors like Hassan to convince their sons or daughters or spouses to leave the church. So not only do church leaders warn against talking with Hassan, they say not to read his book, which they call spiritual pornography.
Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence.
As one former member told me, I spent some time in this group. It ruined my life. It destroyed my relationships. What do you say to that?
Well, the church, we've heard those allegations. The church doesn't ruin relationships. We don't teach people to depart from their families. We don't teach people to estrange themselves from their families.
Shortly after the missionary, I am assuming, approached the pastor, he told the whole congregation not to speak to missionary Ron, and that if we did, that we were going to go to hell because it was like eating from the from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the forbidden fruit, and that we were also told not to go to websites that were speaking bad against the church because, again, it was eating like the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and if we did so, then we were going to go to hell.
Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence. Brainwashing means some kind of influence.